say on the show. Technical difficulties there, but hopefully you can hear us. How are you?
How's it going? Yeah, I got you now.
That's good. Yeah, some technical issues on my side. Sorry about that, but yeah, we got there in the end. How are you doing? And as I mentioned again, this is a suggestion from a guest I had on the show last year called DMoney Johnson, who's a music artist, who recommended me to have you on the show last year. And it took us a year to get you on the show, but as I said before, you are a busy man, and you were on the phone a minute ago. If you have to go on the phone again, just let me know. There's me a signal, and I will switch to something else for you. But how are you, and where are you? Where are you currently in the US?
I'm pretty good. Right, currently I'm in Louisiana.
Oh, good.
Currently,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Good old Louisiana. You're the second person to come on the show from Louisiana, so could have another person on from there.
Yeah,
If you're
definitely some
watching this,
heritage.
by the way, you can nothing to say. That's fine. So how did you become an entrepreneur? Then, what inspired you to follow that path?
Um, I think every day you begin to think back in your life and you're like, wait, oh, that's that moment. Oh, that's the moment. So every day you remember things that make you remember, like, oh, that's when I became an entrepreneur. But I think one of the memorable moments is I mean, in high school, I mean, I was, doing parties and events and things like that. And I built a promotional team and didn't really think of much of it as an entrepreneurial situation, just something I was doing and knew how to make money and sell things and put this together to make money. And then really tapped in when I left the radio station. I lost my jobs at the radio stations I was working at in 2014, and I had a moment to figure things out in life and reflect. And
Yeah.
uh, I started thinking, watching the Wolf of Wall Street, and that sparked some great ideas. And then I started putting my company together, which is called Publius Lobo. I started putting that company together. It's a brand and talent development company, and from there, the entrepreneurial spirit just ran wild, and I went crazy from there, and just started building, and add. So I think that was the pivotal moment of the entrepreneurial state. But of course, like I said, I mean, when you think back in life, there's so much small things that happen when you were younger that really started that entrepreneurial state for you. But that was my pivotal moment, I think.
That's good. Good way to your career, I guess, as well. You as well
Yeah.
when you're growing.
I'm sorry, I lost you again.
Can you hear me now? That's fine. Yeah, we can hear me now. I was saying, who inspired you to get to where you are today as an entrepreneur, as we know you today?
First answer would be uh I think, like, again, when I first started entrepreneurship, it was more about me connecting to just motivational things. I reading motivational books and watching motivational videos. But
Yeah.
the biggest inspiration, I think, it had to come from Sean Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy. That was an inspiration, an idol of mine. I was like, hey, look, I want to be that guy. I want to be like that. I want to be better than that guy. And that was part of the biggest inspiration that got led me to this point. Um, and that story is a whole story in itself. But I think probably would say Puff at the time, and
Got you.
and now, I mean, you know, there's so many more inspirations now, but definitely as it relates to getting kicked into the space and striving and really just being aggressive and relentless, it will have to be Diddy. Yeah.
Because of course as well, because you are like a good public speaker. You've done some public speaking as well, and you also been like a music artist of yourself, aren't you? I would say. 'Cause it's-
Yeah. So I mean, I've made one song for fun, but now I'm not a music artist. I'm just the guy behind the artist, right? I'm the guy who was going to develop the brands and develop the talent and strategically put campaigns together for the artists and lead them and do the business and the management aspect. So I'm the guy behind the talent. No, I'm not a music artist myself. So I'm piss poor at that, you know. So I was like, hey,
I
look,
don't think you
I'll
are.
leave that part alone and I'll take care of the business and get everybody where they need to be. We all still in the same boat, so it's okay. But no, I'm not an artist directly. But I'm
Fair.
with a lot of artists. I work with a lot of artists, and maybe that's where the connection comes from.
Yeah, maybe. You never know. But I did see a video you on your Instagram of where you were, I think it's like a rap. I think it was something like that. It was something fun because people were enjoying themselves. It was like a big event, and that's why I thought, oh, maybe you're also a music artist on the side as well.
Yeah, no, I think we were one of our artists was at a listening session event, listening party, and we were just having fun, and we all got involved in the making the song, and I started adding some aspects to it more in the producing state of it, and just having fun, some ad libs. My radio background and my hosting background, put me in a space where I can be quick and think and give ad libs and that type of stuff. So now that's what happened. No, I wasn't on the track though. I wasn't on the track. We did have a lot of fun though. It was a lot of fun doing that. So for sure, I like getting in the studio and working with the artists.
I could tell on the scene was enjoying themselves and having a good time. So that's good to see.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
how did you form your relationship then with DMoney Johnson? And how did you guys interact first?
DMoney,
Yeah.
we went to high school together. We
Oh,
went to high school
nice.
together, North High School. We were both in a band, and that's how we originally met and connected. Um, and after he graduated before me, and after graduation, I think um, he saw, I was in radio and he saw some of the things I was doing. I think he reached out to me about just connecting and helping him with some of his music endeavors. And then as my career built and I got, further into
Yeah.
the celebrity side of things and working with more higher end talent celebrity clients, we kind of connected a little bit more. And he wanted to do some listening events and some part release parties. So I went ahead and collaborated with him, brought some of the parties together, and me and him, we just really started getting it tight again and started rolling. I went out to LA for a while, moved to LA, and so we connected a lot. Took him to a couple of events that I had with a couple of celebrity talent clients. So we just, we connected from there and just kept it going. But it originally started in high school, man. High school, we were in a band together in high school. Yeah, crazy.
Any funny stories from your time in this band in high school? In
That a lot of funny stories. But it's high school. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
I
But
know, but I mean,
a lot of funny stories though. I mean, band was, I actually left band after my sophomore year, I believe, because I got
got you.
involved in another organization. But I mean, band, and I mean, in high school we were, I mean, knit tight family too. Like the groups, we were like knit tight, locked in. I mean, so many things happened that tested us and made us show our loyalty to each other and our respect for each other. And so, but there's a lot of stories, but I don't want to tell any right now. I don't want to
That's
tell any.
fair. That's fair. Go wait for the right moment, don't you, to say when it's appropriate to say some of these stories. I'm sure D Money is
Right,
watching this and thinking, yeah, please don't say nothing.
right, right, yeah, right. No stories. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Um, you mentioned a few minutes ago about some of the celebrities you've worked with, Dan, as well. Like, how did that all begin for you as well?
Man, and I was in radio prior to, and then after radio, remember I started my company Publius Global in 2014, and a lot of the clients, man, wasn't trusting the system. It was a 280-day system. It's called the Publius system, 280-day system. We get you to your career in 280 days or less.
Got you.
Um, and relatively, it's just like 9 months for the birth of a baby, right? Um, and a lot of clients wasn't trusting it, and I understood it wasn't completely fleshed out yet. I was still uh, putting it together as we were going. Um, and so it got to the point where it's like, look, I can't. no one's trusting the system. I'm going to drop all clients. So I dropped all clients. I moved from Louisiana and I moved to Atlanta. And I went to go do a radio challenge. And I was like, I'm going to challenge any radio personality. And if I beat you, I'll get your job, you know. And none of them was stupid enough to take that challenge. So we didn't do that. Yeah, because they know. So we didn't do that. So what we ended up doing, um, you know, I was just thinking like, you know, everyone just don't understand. They don't listen. Like you got to follow your dreams. And I asked myself at that moment, I said, what what are my dreams? Like, have I ever followed my dreams purely and truly? And I was like, you know, I can go work for P. Diddy right now and just forget all this and go do what I want to do. And I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I really can do that. And thinking about it it started to sound real in my head. And I'm like, yo, I really can do that. And I asked a couple of friends and associates about it, and they're like, yeah, do it. And we just didn't know how it was going to get done. And you know, I prayed about it, I meditated, and you know, and I'm like, all right, got some signs I needed, and I put a campaign together. Um, and the mission was to get the Diddy, you know, get the Diddy in 280 days or less. When I first started the campaign, it wasn't fully again thought out, but then we came back to the drawing board and we really, really put a solid campaign together. And I traveled the country, the U.S., traveled U.S. for about 250 days, man, just back and forth, you know, chasing Diddy down and chasing him
Yeah.
down and his company, getting to everyone in the company to know and um, promoting their products and all that type of stuff. You know, long story short, it was successful. It was successful in the 250th day. He pulled me up on stage in Miami at a Revolt Music Conference. He endorsed me, and then it went crazy. I started connecting with the company and got positions in the company. I moved out to New York, worked in the
Wow.
offices there, and from there, just started working with a lot of different celebrity talent. I mean, you know, French Montana, and of course Diddy, and a couple artists down in Louisiana that I worked with. The Combs guys, his son. Like, so I worked with a couple different talent, just behind the scenes, as it relates to either assisting or either creatives, either coordinating, and strategy, that type of stuff. So that's kind of where the full, because I mean, of course, I've done things with artists before through radio, but from the personal side, it started with Diddy. Started with working with Diddy, and I mean, it was definitely a dream come true. I mean, that landed me to so many other things that I'm sure we're gonna get to, but I mean, it was definitely a dream come true, and you know, I wouldn't take that moment back for anything. So
Yeah.
I loved it.
I'm very surprised by that many presenters, like radio personalities, did not take you up on your challenge. I'm very shocked. I think maybe they were too scared that they're going to lose their jobs.
Definitely.
Maybe.
You know, it was, and this was before the height of the challenges on social media and all that.
Yeah.
And it was like, look, I'll take anybody's job. You know, we'll have a challenge right now, and you know, I'll come to the station, and you know, but they didn't take it up. But it's cool, you know, because we put a better challenge together, and we made it much further than that would have put us. So,
Fair enough. Fair
well, I
enough.
made it much further than it would have put me. So
Yeah.
that was
Well, that's good. At least you were to, that one didn't go according to plan. So you thought of something bigger and better, and that paid
exactly
off. That's the main thing. I do like that about. This is how a guy like yourself, Flax, have become an entrepreneur, because you think outside of the box. You think of
that's right,
things crazy and
right,
exciting and something different,
right,
to throw people off. You got to be different, don't you? Like, I'm hoping that this show is a bit different than the normal radio shows you may hear. Um,
right, right, right.
I should mention as well, because you got so many connections and so many different things, so many different projects going on in your life. What's been some of your favorite moments so far in your career?
I'm in the middle of one right now, and it's like I'm torn between two or three things, but it's a great moment right now as we speak, this very minute. The year turned over and some things shifted, and we on an uptrend. But I mean, I think some of the best moments is when you know, when you get a moment to just sit and realize exactly what you envision, exactly what you put together in your head and manifest it actually is happening or actually has happened, right? Whether it's time to move on from it or not, you realize that, wait, this is what I saw. Like, I clearly saw this in my head, and I was able to precisely put it out. I think that, my Redhi House moment when, we signed deals with the parish government and police departments and things like that to bring our programming into the government and police departments. That was a great moment. Um, Opening up our first Redhi House, uh, signing a deal with Vodka Company, an equity deal with the Vodka Company after leaving Ciroc with Diddy. Of course, the Diddy moment was pivotal and inspiring. So I think it's, every time we reach those milestones, and a lot of times I got to go back and be comfortable and thankful, and because you get so caught up. My slogan is "What's next for Flex," right?
Yeah.
And so it's always about what's next. It's all about what's next. And
Mm-hmm.
so I get so caught up sometimes about what's next, that I can't live in the moment and be proud of or happy about the small wins and in the moment that I'm in, that's leading us to the massive and huge and multi-billion-dollar acquisitions. So I've learned that over the past year or two, where sometimes you have to just slow down and celebrate every achievement. It doesn't have to be a long celebration, but you have to, think about that, be thoughtful and thankful that, look, we accomplished that. All right, now let's go to the next. Sometimes just take a break and pause. I've never been the one to take breaks and pause. It's always been, all right, next. Oh, cool, that happened next. Just the moment with Diddy. When he pulled me on stage, I didn't even celebrate in that moment, because in my mind I'm thinking about, okay, if he gives me this microphone, I'm gonna have to say the right thing. I have to do the right thing, and then after that, I'm on stage, and in that moment while I'm on stage with him, I should be celebrating in the moment, but I'm really thinking about, okay, what's next? How is this gonna play out next? And so you start missing the moment. So I say that to say I've just started to sit in those moments and look at and be proud of each moment, versus, all right, cool, that happened, now let's move on. I never really celebrated Super Bowls. It's always been, all right, let's prepare for the next one so we can get to the next one, right?
Gotcha.
So I'm just starting to really sit in those moments.
Yeah.
And it feels a lot better being able to celebrate the small wins and pay attention to them as well, than it does just holding all that and just fighting every day just for the big, big, big prize. Because listen, when you fight for the big, big, big prize every day, when you eventually reach the big, 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 big prize, it won't be the big, big, big prize for you. You're going to want more and more and more. And so you're never going to have enough. And which is okay, to not have enough, but start soaking it in a little bit so you can last longer to be able to get to the ultimate goals. So I'm here now. I'm arrived, and I feel a lot better, and I'm doing a lot better as relates to celebrating those things.
Yeah.
And celebrating other people.
Sorry.
Go
ahead.
Hard for me to celebrate people.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to celebrate other people. Like, someone told me, hey, I got this promotion, I made this achievement. I'm like, all right, and let's go, move on, And that was because I never celebrated myself, and now I'm better. The people around me are better. My team is better because I'm better. So
most definitely, I agree, and I bet you as well. At the time when you were, thinking about what's next, then I guess maybe if you had a chance and go back and relive those moments and actually maybe feel the moments a bit more than maybe at the time when they took place, kind of thing. But I want to mention as well that the people in the YouTube chat are liking what you're saying so far. Some of your fans as well are saying, I never miss what's in the moment, says somebody in the YouTube chat. So, you got to agree with that. You got to take a minute to breathe it in, to breathe the moment, live the moment before thinking about what's next. Now, because you're a busy guy, because you like to keep busy. And that's, I guess, sometimes it's quite good to keep busy and just to keep going. But sometimes as well, the negative side is that you forget what's important to you as well, don't you? And that's also quite important, to take time out to have a week off, or take a break from work, just to relax, just to take a break as well. And when you get that chance to take a break, how do you relax yourself? How do you relax your mind, if you ever have yet?
Man, listen, it's crazy because first off, I don't have a relationship. I don't say I don't do that, but it's just, I'm a very social guy, but not social, if that makes sense. What it means is I'm very social. Like I'm the life of the party. I'm going to always get everyone together. I'm going to always celebrate. We're going to have fun and all that great stuff. But I don't do small talk. So I'm probably not going to be. I don't talk about sports. I don't talk about. I don't talk about. I don't talk about anything but business, money. How do we get to the next level? And so sometimes I'm disconnected with peers and friends and associates because they'd be like, all right, I don't think that's a funny joke, but let's. And so I'm socially awkward in that sense where I'm so social, but I don't have the social bone of to just do normal conversations or small talk. And, it's just hard for me. And again, I've gotten better at that too, by just being in the moment. But relaxing, man. Even when I watch shows, like if
Yeah.
I watch a show, I don't watch just for entertainment. It has to be my relaxation is Shark Tank. You know what I mean? My relaxation is um, 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 movies or a series about business building or um, um, cleaning money or the mob or things of that nature that's fast, alluring, energy rushing, creative. So I don't really. My good time is reading new articles about something that excites me about what it's going to excite me, and then it's going to frustrate me because I'm like, all right, now I got to hurry up and do this. But I think that's my good time. And I don't. I enjoy hanging with my family. I enjoy being with my family now. Just spending time with my family, as in not my kids, as in my brothers, my sisters, my mom, my cousins, my friends and aunts, and that type of stuff. Um, I enjoy that. I enjoy that. I enjoy when I get to be with some of my younger mentees and peers and team members that I could motivate. I could teach them new things. I could tell them new things. I could show them new things. Like that type of stuff really, really excites me and gets me going and make me feel relaxed. And until the next second when my mind sparks again. So it's really hard. Um, but I do find enjoyment in maybe taking a second to lay on a couch and watch binge watch a couple episodes of a real good show, and it gives me ideas to do other stuff. But I do sit in those moments and enjoy that.
Yes. Sorry about we just put somebody in timeout by mistake, so I do apologize. That was Stab. That was not. That was I pressed the wrong button for you in the YouTube chat. So I do apologize. There was a comment after that, which is not in English, and that's why I deleted that message and put that person in a timeout, because for some reason, for the past since yesterday, this person has appeared on my live chat and is trying to say something or other, but not in English. I don't know. So I put that person in timeout. But I would apologize to Stab that for some reason you've been put in timeout by mistake. So I do apologize because that wasn't towards you. That
So
was meant to happen to
is
a
he out of
person.
time up?
Yeah, by mistake, I pressed the wrong button because I
Okay.
removed the comment of the other person, but then when I wanted to add them into a timeout, it gave the timeout to the wrong person. So I apologize for that. Anyway, back to you. um, what a that is quite good. I have to say, enjoy your family because you never know how long you have with your family. As they say, take every moment as you can, make memories for decades to come, isn't it? Really. So at least you get
It's
the
his
time.
mom's birthday, so we celebrate today too. It's his
Yeah.
mom's birthday, so we celebrate. Yeah.
Ah, that's good. Was that who you were on the phone to earlier? Was that saying like happy birthday or?
It was concerned. Well, it was my sister who's planning something, and then my mom called right after, but I didn't answer that
Ah,
one. We're all right.
got ya. Um, a piece of advice for anybody who maybe is following your footsteps, or maybe just want to get themselves on the footing ladder of the entrepreneur ish. Like, what is one of the biggest things you've learned in your time so far? The
I
biggest
mean, you're talking about
lessons?
getting started. I mean, consistency.
Yeah.
You know, consistency is key. Like being relentless and you know being clear about what it is you want. I always tell them, write it down. I know a lot of times, guys, we hear, the stories of these great successful Elon Musk and Oprah and Diddy and Will Smith, and but those stories are true. Like, you have to write it down. Write it down so that way you can always go from it. And I'm saying, when you asked me earlier about a moment, an opportunity came to me maybe about 2 weeks ago, and all I had to do was go back to my files and pulled out a business plan that I put together since 2018, right? And pulled it out to come into fruition today, literally. You know what I mean? So by writing it down and putting the vision together and keeping it and keep manifesting it, keeping it plain, opportunity can always come. So I think, just really, if you're gonna do this, you gotta do this. This is not half step in. This is, if you one foot in, one foot out, just don't really, in real life, don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, because it's going to take a lot of consistency, a lot of setbacks, a lot of hurting, but you gotta be able to see that clear, like knowing I've been able to survive so long in good spirits because of faith and hope. And I tell people all the time, if you have hope and you have faith, you can keep going, because the hope makes you believe that there is more, and I have to keep going for more. And then the faith is the thing that says, here's why, here is what gives you the power to keep going. So hope and faith together helps you. And if you can find those things, which, to be honest, that's some things that people can't give you. So we can give you the money, we can give you ideas, we can give you platforms, we can give you uh, 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 programs, we can give you resources, but the hope and the faith is something. Well, I mean, we can try to give hope, but for you to live it, that's something we can't do for you. You got to believe it yourself and try hard. So that's the inspirational tip. But on life tip, you got to just go get it. Like, no apologies. Don't wait. Stop worried about other thoughts, and just every day. Don't tell me I want to have this much money or be this successful, and you're not putting yourself around any of that, right? It's about resources. Put yourself around the people and the things that you want to have in your life,
Got
and
you.
it's going to come. It's going to come. But if you're doing the same thing and you hoping and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be a billionaire, I'm going to be the best selling artist, I'm going to be the biggest tech mogul, and you haven't read one tech book or connected to one music artist or invested in yourself, and forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Resources is important. Connect to resources, and you'll be surprised at things you can get if you find the right people to connect with, the right circles and energies to be around. You'll be surprised at the opportunities that come. And then being able to recognize opportunities is the last that I think a big problem with people. My cousin once asked me, so to get opportunity, do you have to be an opportunist? I say, yeah, in a sense, but the first thing is being able to recognize that you're even in the way of an opportunity. So for those of you who don't, a keynote, go look at the five laws of cycles of life. The five laws of the cycle of life, and it'll tell you. You got to be able to recognize opportunities, so you know when something is there for you. If you can't recognize opportunity, you're never going to get to the next level. So be open to it. Be open to change and embrace it.
Good piece of advice there as well. So, anyway, who may be listening thinking, how can I get my footing, or even, get some advice there? So there you go. Take it on board and see where you hang up. And hopefully as well, reach out to
Look,
Flex on...
look,
Oh, go on,
you,
go on.
look. I did my Diddy situation because I wanted people to understand that it's. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Lafayette, Louisiana is the fourth city into the market of Louisiana. Louisiana is probably the third to last or last state in So I'm a guy from a small town called Lafayette. People don't even know it exists, right? On a big scale, to Louisiana is big, but on a national or even a world scale, it's small, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went out and I found this guy named Diddy, who was arguably the biggest name in hip hop, mogul at the time, right? The richest guy in hip hop. And I went and I just said, I'm going to go get him. And that was a sure way to show anyone who's trying to follow a dream that all you have to do is create that opportunity. Don't always, no one's coming to help. You can create opportunities for you. Connect with the right people. Go, whatever it is, you go get it. Set a plan. Stay consistent. Follow it, follow it, follow it, follow it. You mess up, get back to it. You pivot, get back to it. Follow it, follow it. And that's what that whole journey was about. It was to show everyone that, yo, this is possible. Whatever it is you want to do, I'm going to pick the wildest dream you can imagine, and I'm going to show it in front of your eyes that it can happen. And so if people take that story and dissect it properly, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you can use that energy and that method that I use to get to whatever goals and dreams it is you're trying to get to.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for explaining to our viewers here this evening. So thank you very much for that, Flex. But again, as well, has there anything like, because with every story, they say you get a lot of wins, but you also have a lot of, well, not a lot of, but one or two big losses, don't you, in making your career, making your, setting you up for life, basically. So and just seeing your reaction to this question here.
Yeah, because I must say you got it backwards. You know, you have one or two big wins and a lot of losses.
Right. Okay. Sorry about that.
You know? One or two big wins and a lot of losses, and the loss really is based upon when you quit, because they asked me, what's going to happen if you don't find Diddy? I said, well, you're going to be wearing black. You're going to be at my funeral. I said, what you mean? I said, because I'm going to die before I don't do it. Like, before I don't meet that goal, I will die first, right? And so the only thing that beats me is death. That's it. So you only lose truly when you quit and you stop. Because I have this company called Redhi House now.
Yeah.
The Redhi House is beautiful. It's amazing. I mean, I love all the creatives, all the talent, everybody on the platform. Like, we're family. Like, but Redhi House was born from Publius. Redhi House is a child of Publius. Publius was the original concept in 2014 that helped me get to Diddy. But we rebirthed the Redhi House at a better time in a more tech space. But it's still derived from Publius. So it's not that I didn't lose on Publius. We just went another direction, right? So I think you have so many losses and a bit of wins, because when do you truly ever win? You know, it goes to that when I said successful people always want more. Yeah. So when do you truly ever win? How do you measure that win, you know? But it's always going to be a loss. Even, you'll see some of the biggest. I mean, Elon Musk took a loss recently, I mean, Jeff Bezos took a loss recently, So you're going to always still have losses all the time. And the wins are going to be few and far. And that's why that consistency, that's why that energy got to keep going. But I'm sorry, I just had to say.
No, go ahead.
I think that is backwards, but you can finish the question. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was gonna say, what's been maybe one of your big losses you've had in your career? Then have you had any big losses, or you can say like?
I wish Joe was on this on here to help me with this one.
Well, for next time, we can keep that question. We can keep that question for next time, maybe.
I've had a lot of losses, though. I keep going. I pivot. We relaunched Redhi House a couple weeks ago through the trading platform. We are already in a better position. We were already in a better position than we were in 5 months ago, So it's hard for me to gauge losses because I don't quit. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't quit. If it's something, again, I put a plan together in 2018 for something, and tried it. It didn't work. Tried it, and now we closed the deal on it this week. You know what I mean? And that was since 2018. Publi was built in 2014. You know, I don't. It's hard to say what my biggest loss because that means I have to measure the loss. I have momentary losses, like we'll invest in something and we'll lose $20,000 in an investment. We'll lose 30,000. We'll try something and it just didn't work out. No one showed up, or um, the platform failed. I have an app I'm still developing right now. Um, so I mean, I'm in the middle of some legal issues with my vodka company. Um, but I don't count them as losses yet because it's not over. It's not
Yeah.
all said and done. So the losses come along the way. The setbacks, the failures, the setbacks, they come along the way, but they build you to keep going. And if you stay consistent, relentless, then you eventually win. It's the Michael Jordan story. Take missing all the shots, and then even so I think that's where it's at. So it's hard for me to say that, and maybe Joe will be able to answer that question better for me if there's something in particular. But it's hard. I'm so optimistic. By the way, I'm so optimistic. So if you ask me
Well, you
what
have to be.
the best thing that ever happened to me in my life, a lot of people say, "Oh, probably the Diddy moment." I'm like, no, me almost losing my life on a ground, being hit by a car at the age of 14, and waking up in the hospital and learn how to have to walk again. That was the best thing that ever happened to me because that changed my life and the trajectory of my life forever. And then, getting kicked out at the age of 15 out of my home and having to figure out how to figure out life and be a man. And then someone wrecking my car, and now I'm stuck being alone in 2014. And that's when I figured out, oh, let me get Publius. And they get fired from the radio station. So you'll say, what's the best thing to have happen? What most people think is the worst thing that ever happened in their lives, or the best thing that ever happened to me. So it's gonna be hard to find my biggest loss, man. It's gonna be hard, bro. It's gonna be hard because I mean, it's gonna always keep going, and I don't stop. So even when setbacks or losses, I get right back at it and I build and I come up with something new and to keep it going. I don't give up. I just don't give up.
That's a good
I can't.
attitude to have, to not give up. Don't let the haters, or as in this way, the haters win. You got to keep going, keep pushing yourself, keep motivating
Right,
yourself somehow.
right.
And speaking of somebody, I think this is might be the person you were speaking of. We do have a YouTube comment coming in from Jay Dangerfield, if I pronounce it.
That's it.
He said,
Was that biggest loss?
he said,
So
I'm here, lol. I lot of losses in the sense of reconfiguring, but definitely lessons. That's a good comment, I have
right,
to say.
definitely. So we'll take something, it'll hit us, and we're back at the drawing board. We reconfigure, figure out how do we pivot, how do we move, and then guess what? We go back at it, and it's better. And every time it's going to happen. So we just keep building and developing. And again, it depends on where you at in the state of mind, whether you take
Mm,
it as a loss or as a growth. Like
yeah,
there's a thing called growth pains, and sometimes in your companies and your businesses, you maybe have two employees, and or it's just you and a friend, and you're selling a few shirts, or you're doing. But then when you grow, it's a growing pain. It's like again when women are pregnant, and stomach has to stretch. It's a growing pain to say we're going to another level, we're building more capacity, so there's going to be more things come to it. The whole saying, more money, more problems. Well, that's what it is. So it's just depend on the state of mind of the person who's in that situation on whether it was a loss or not. I mean, and again, you can go bankrupt and lose it all. But there's people who come back from bankruptcy, people who come back from complete failure, people who come back from, depression and suicidal thoughts and addiction. So the loss is based on a state of mind of a person, consistency, faith, hope, and he ain't no losses. So it's gonna be hard to find that biggest loss for me.
Um, so before we move on, I want to mention as well to the viewers who may be tuning in for the first time, they might not know what Redhi House Creative Studios is. So could you give us a brief description of what it is?
Yeah. Redhi House Creative Studios is a creative incubation platform that we've created because we want to give creators a space to connect, learn, teach, inspire, and build their platform themselves. So, for example, a lot of when we created a focus group a couple of years ago, a lot of creators were like, "Hey, look, we don't have a place to go and record our music because my girl don't want all those people in the house, and my mom don't want all those people in the home playing video games, and and they understand YouTube and they think I'm crazy." And so we said, what if we give you guys a space to come and be able to create whatever it is you want to create? And they're like, yeah, we would love it. And then they're like, okay, how do you guys make money off of it? And like, oh wait. And a lot of creatives didn't know how to make money off of. So that's what we want to add, a monetizing part of it. So now we can say, okay, this is how you make money off of your followers, off of your streams, off of your views, off of your affiliate marketing, off of your endorsements, off of your promotions. And so we create a platform where you can come to these studios, you can game for EA gamers, for TikTok and YouTube and podcasts, and music artists for music studios and production, videographers, coders, developers, just creatives at its own right, influencers. And then we ended up adding forex trading to it, so for traders and investors and crypto miners and now NFT creators. So we just wanted a place for all creatives, and we connect digitally, and that's part of the app that's being continued to develop right now. But we connect digitally, but we've also opened up spaces in others in certain cities, and then we've done partnerships with, like I said, the parish governments to bring in summer programs, summer tech camps through Redhi House, and juvenile justice departments where we can use the program as an alternative. So let's say you get a misdemeanor or a petty small first offense, then hey, how about you go through Redhi House music program and kill it in the studio and spend your time there, and instead of it'll serve as time versus going to jail or probation. So we've had some inside police stations, detention centers, and all that type of stuff. So that's what Redhi House is, and you can be anywhere in the world. When we're building the platform to be is where you could be anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country, and you can just hit the app and find a Redhi House somewhere and go and connect with other creatives who are trying to build and connect, and we all can make money together. We have our forex trading side now where we're creating funded accounts for traders, and we're taking traders who may not have the resources to get the funding they need and putting that funding behind them to go crazy. So that's what we're doing right now at Redhi House.
That's
It's going
good.
crazy. We're signing musical artists, influencers, TikTok, YouTube, all that type of stuff.
Will you be going into, I don't know, you probably say no to this, but will you be going into the acting world as well, models as well, to join your brands?
That's funny, man, because that's what Publius was. So Publius actually was there for models and actors and dancers and singers and that whole nine. And we've done the platform for years with Publius. And then, like I said, we had just made the transition in 2020. We made the transition right at the brick of COVID. Well, we were planning it in 2019, and we actually launched March of 2020, and we opened our first space in May of 2020. And we transitioned from the acting and the modeling to more of the digital and technical components, which is gaming and YouTube and TikTok and podcasting and music. So we went more into the digital space and tech space versus the person to person. But we still deal with music artists and stuff. But that was Publius when we worked on
Got you.
the models and that type of stuff, and we transitioned to Redhi House, which is more of the tech side of things.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Sorry about the misunderstanding of what you meant before. um,
No, that's good.
I was going to mention as well, because you briefly mentioned this as well before, but you're a partner as well in Matador Vodka. Can you tell us about how that all began? And could we see your own brand of vodka or any other alcohol drinks in the future?
Yeah, so Matador, I had a friend who, when I came, same time around March when COVID hit, I was back at home. I was living in LA at the time and came back home. COVID hit, so we ended up staying. And a friend of mine has a club. He was like, "Hey, come meet with me. I have these two guys I'm meeting with. who's doing a vodka brand. I'm like, no, I'm not interested. He's like, nah, I just want you to come and meet because I need to see if I want to take them into the club. I was like, listen, I just left Puff. I'm not interested. I don't want to deal with any vodka, especially not from two black guys from the city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who has a vodka that sounds like the most trash thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't want to deal with it. He's like, nah, just come. I say, listen, okay, I'll come. I'll give them 10 minutes. And if it doesn't make sense in 10 minutes, listen, I'm leaving because I don't have that type of time. And I go and I see the bottle, and the bottle is really dope. And I take me a shot, and it was really good, and tried another shot, and it was even better. And so I was interested in just hearing them out. And towards the end of the meeting, I realized I'm like, hey, you guys are at the wrong meeting. Like, this meeting shouldn't be about you guys him taking this product into the club. This meeting needs to be about how do you guys get to market, because they hadn't got to market yet. They had just really finished cultivating the brand and getting ready to launch. And I found the opportunity because, again, I told you always recognize opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I saw an opportunity there where I was like, hey, look, I can come in and I can take this brand to market, and I can help launch this brand to market in major ways. And so we had meetings and we met, and I showed them what I could do and some plans. And we went in, and I was originally on a vesting deal, which means you have to work a certain amount of time in order to then have your equity ownership. But I went in as the CMO, chief marketing officer, and a vesting partner, which means I had to put in a certain amount of time before I actually had ownership. And that deal was for 5 years. I had to be in for 5 years before I had ownership.
Got you.
And then really after the first 8 months, we came back to the drawing board because I brought so much to the table. We've done so much at that time, and we came back to the drawing board, and that deal went out the window. We renegotiated a whole new deal, and I became a partner and an owner immediately with much more equity than I originally was going for. So that brand is actually one of my brands. I'm an owner of that vodka brand, so that's the vodka brand you will see from me. Um, it's great, and we have some bigger things coming that we're dealing with right now, and about to just skyrocket and take it to the next level.
Good to hear, and hopefully in the next few years we will see it in shops and local pubs over here in the UK. That'd be great to see, to drink
That'll be
it.
great. Yep, that'll be great. Let's try that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get there.
Yeah. Just quickly, because we are, running out of time with you here this afternoon. What are some of your goals or achievements you want to achieve in 2022? Then have you thought about anything you want to?
2022, man. Oh man, yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, look, millionaire by 30. So that check mark has to happen this year. The next couple months, really. We have to hit our millionaire status as a company, as companies, as personal networks, and all that type of stuff. We're opening up the Goaltenders restaurant that I mentioned from 2018 that we put together. I was talking to my Redhi House team about this maybe a year ago, and now we have a deal at the table that we're opening up that restaurant, and we're already planning the franchise route.
Can I just interrupt?
Yeah.
Just quickly, where is this restaurant going to be opening? Is it going to be in Louisiana or is it going to be somewhere else in the US? Just want to plan.
Yeah, so the first location is going to be in Louisiana, and we're planning the franchise rollout with that on what type of region we want to attack first. But yeah, the first location is going to be in Louisiana. Yeah,
which means we could see you on Undercover Boss in the next few years. That'd be cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be so undercover though. They all know me, but yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So we got that happening. I'm really proud and excited about that. A great partner with me on that. Opening up another smaller spot that's going to be really dope as well. We relaunched the Redhi House Traders platform, where now, I mean, I think already we have a good bit of we're funded a good bit of money right now that we have in our trading arsenal that puts us where we need to be to reach our goals. And we're going to be taking in more traders in the next couple of weeks. So that's going crazy, and that's beautiful, and that's looking great for first quarter. That's going to get us really, really far. We're going to relaunch the Redhi House app as well this year, probably first quarter. Uh, we're looking to sign new artists and influencers as well. That may be a second quarter thing, or getting out of the first quarter, second quarter. Um, that's what I want to definitely have. We're gonna launch the first goaltenders, but I want to at least get at least another one, so at least two open in this year. Um, at least two locations open in this year, and then we're gonna open up a couple more. Well, definitely one more Redhi House location this year. So that's what we're looking at for the 2022. It looks promising. It looks focused. It looks direct, and I'm excited, and I want all the team to be excited, and everybody to be excited because we're really, 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 really moving up. So
from me to you, I wish you the best of luck with all the achievements and goals you want to achieve, and I hope that either maybe by the end of this year or maybe this time next year we can have a another chat and see if you're able to meet those goals and achievements or even surpass them. So I hope we can do that. Maybe even bring on your friend Joe on as well with you.
definitely, definitely, Joe. Yeah. So I like that. Yeah. Let's we can definitely set to where are we now? See what we've done. How we've achieved, how we
Yeah.
took some of the setbacks, and how we kept going. So yeah, definitely, that'd
Yeah,
be good.
that'd be great. That'd be great to do, as well. Quickly as well. We mentioned this at the beginning of the show, because you were on the phone, so I won't do it now. Um, did you have a good Christmas and New Year? Did you do anything nice over the New Year to celebrate Trade 2?
Yeah. I mean, I think I came into the new year with so much good energy. I've I mean, crazy because I'm not this type of guy to be like, oh, I'm done with this for this year. But I think going into the new year, I actually cut out a lot of fat that I didn't need in the space, and to be clear about a couple of things, and went into the new year feeling very strong and positive and up forward with what we're doing as a team for all the companies we have, and celebrated with family. We got with family all holiday long. Our family had um, gatherings and events, and we had our schedules and who was going to host what, and it all went well, and it was great. So yeah, I mean, it was blessed. We celebrated with family. We had love, and came into the new year with business looking on the uptrend. You know what I mean? So yeah,
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you have a good New Year and good momentum, and get things done, as they say. Get things
yeah,
done in Trade 2.
get,
Uh,
get it done.
and the
That's what I like.
last, and my last question for you this evening or this afternoon is: could we ever see you come to the UK in the future to, maybe build something here? Could be expanding your restaurant business, or maybe even your own brand, your own creative studios, or something
Yeah,
else.
I definitely think you can see a Ready House in the UK. Um, Easy. And I definitely think, no, for sure. Yeah. I think we can see a Ready House in the UK. I would love something like that. There's a lot of creative talent out there. I would love to tap into another industry, another demographic, another space period. So yeah, you, if anything, I could definitely say that you could see in the UK from me would definitely be a Ready House. Above all things that I have under my belt, definitely a Ready House first. And the others could possibly follow, but definitely you could see a Ready House in the UK.
Great. You hit it first, ladies and gentlemen. So if it happens in the future, I can say that I was the
He
first to
called
know.
it.
I was the first to
That's
know
right.
about it live on the air, and Joe
That's
has said
right.
it, and Joe has said in the live chat as well to say it would be an honor. So he's on board to come on there with yourself again, Flex. So let's make that happen later this year, or even this time next year, either way it works for you, depending on your busy schedule, of course. But
Yep.
it's been a pleasure having you on the show. It's took us a year to get you on the show after DMoney Johnson first mentioned you to me last year.
Right.
It was a good recommendation, I have to say, from DMoney, and I hope.
Yeah, I mean, it
Um,
took a year because it's better now. I have more to talk about and more to offer now, and so you get more what you need from me
yeah,
now than you would have got
last year.
last year. You know,
That's
yeah.
good. And who would you suggest or maybe even recommend me to contact next to come on this show after you, to follow suit of Flex? Who should it be? Who should it be, everybody?
Man, Miko's, man. My guy Miko's out in Houston. I'll definitely put you in contact. My one of my other partners, Dr. Calandra Robinson. Yeah, that's two that I would give to you, and maybe a few more that I could probably send to you. But definitely, I would say those two as it relates to what you got, what you got going on right here in entrepreneurial.
Yeah, well, this is a variety show here on youtube.com/Fowler Show. We bring on all different type of people, from entrepreneurs to music artists to actors to broadcasters. You name it, we probably cover it. Or on this very variety show, as they say. I don't know. I can't really give a description. I can't say this category fits this, because if it's not. If it's a more, kind of thing, it's a variety show. But yeah, thank you very much for the suggestions and recommendations. Hopefully we can make one of them work when you send them across to me. If you haven't already, though, we should mention as well, before we let our guests go, that we have been showing your social medias on the screen. We may have left a few out, so feel free to jump in and mention them if I've not mentioned any. So we mentioned you on Instagram, of course, _You Heard Me, and the same on Twitter, even though you've not tweeted on Twitter since 2018, I think it is. A long time. Hope you'll be back there soon. Is there any other?
Yeah, I have a new Twitter.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I think it's actually the same thing, Flex _ it's maybe Flex You Heard Me or something like that.
Right, okay.
Something like that, though. I had to get a new Twitter, which I don't tweet that much. To be honest with you, I'm not really. You would think that I'm the social guy. I'm not really that socially savvy.
Yeah, you're too busy, aren't you? That's why. You're too busy.
That's what the team, the Redhi House team, really kind of trying to help me with that and get me right on that. And I'm not always on par with that either. But all I have is an Instagram, a Twitter. I have a TikTok.
Oh, mention it. What is it? Is it the same as yours? Flex?
It's all the same. It's all the same.
Okay.
I'm particular about the branding.
Yeah, I don't blame you there at all. I'm a bit like that, apart from Twitter, because it won't let me put it on there. It's like one character over or something. It's a bit stupid.
Oh yeah.
So I can call on everything else, because I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, all the same name. Twitter, I have to put just my name because it won't let me put Edo Fowler Show. Bit of a shame there.
Now on Facebook, I'm Orlando Miguel. On Facebook is Orlando Miguel, is what I am on Facebook. But everything else is Flex _ You Heard Me.
Yeah, there you go. You heard him all right. And if you haven't already, go and follow him on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, even on Facebook. Like him, share to all your friends. Tell him all about Flex and his visions and his businesses, because it's going to be a great year, I'm sure, for Flex here in 2022. Yeah. We look forward to see what happens. I'll be following your account, immediately following this show as well. They're not done yet, so I do apologize for that.
Thank you.
For that as well.
Thank you.
But thank you again for taking the time out of your busy day to speak with me.
It's all good. We appreciate you. I'm glad we were able to connect, and let's set up for end of the year or top of next year and see where we are.
Exactly. And I should mention as well, in the next hour or two, there will be a clip coming out of our conversation on my social media, which I'm sure you'll be tagged in. So I just want to warn you for the pre-tags before you think, getting a lot of tags there. So I just wanted to warn you about that from our conversation this afternoon. So thank you again.
Okay. It works.
Indeed. And again, if you want to know when my next guest is, it's this coming Thursday, 6 p.m. UK time. Hopefully my voice will be strong enough until Thursday. I got a bit of a cough. But don't worry, it's not COVID. I can tell you that for sure. I can tell you that for 100%. It's not COVID. Carlos Garcia will be on the show this Thursday, 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Eastern time on West Coast time. Usual time. For this show, as always. If you enjoyed tonight's edition, make sure to give it a like, share the video around to all your friends. I just mentioned a minute ago. Tell more about Flex. Tell as many people as you can. Follow him, like him, all that good stuff on social media, and check this video out. Help us to get to over 100 views if you can. Make sure you like it, share the video around, comment in the comment section below of any future questions you would like me to ask Flex for our next interview. As he just mentioned, public on the air. We're going to do it either at the end of the year or this time next year on this channel. So hopefully we can ask those questions to him for the next time we speak live. And as well, if you're not already, subscribe to my channel for the great content you will get here, as we've got over 156 subscribers. If you want to see more people come on the show, bigger followings and subscribe, the more subscribers, the more views, the more likes we get, will help me to get to that goal of bringing more fresh people on this show. Because I believe that this is the only show on YouTube where we bring on fresh people all the time. We don't like to bring on the same old person every 2 weeks or every 2 months. Maybe twice a year, yes, but not every 2 or 3 months. It gets a bit boring, I think. So we like to keep it fresh and new and such like that. So please subscribe if you can as well. But until the next episode drops, which is on Thursday, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday afternoon or evening.